Hands up if you played an instrument in your school band. Yep, me too. What if I told you that I can pretty much guarantee that you didn't play a piece of music written by an Australian woman, and that for over 70% of school students today, the story will be the same? As part of my job as a school band teacher, I choose the music that my students play. And I think it's incredibly important that I choose music that reflects the diversity of the students who sit in front of me, half of them being young Australian women. To help me better understand this situation, I've interviewed and surveyed Australian conductors and women composers, and a few things in particular have become apparent. Firstly, the amount of music that has been written by Australian women that is able to be played by school bands is limited, and what has been written is often difficult to access. Secondly, conductors or school band teachers are time poor, and as a result, we do tend to become creatures of habit. It's a lot easier and quicker to choose music that we already know. My data shows me, though, that over 90% of conductors would be willing to consider routinely programming music by Australian women or by commissioning new pieces by them. What they need now is resources and strategies to help them do that. My research, which is the first of its kind in Australia, is going to help by providing those things. And thirdly, strong and positive relationships between Australian conductors and women composers have the potential to be really powerful in this context. While in the long term, I plan that we will see widespread, systematic change, there are things that need to be done right now at the grassroots. So far in my research, I have commissioned 9 new pieces of music by emerging female Australian composers. One of those pieces is going to be premiered at a national conference for music educators and conductors in October this year. It's written by a Queensland composer, Claire Petherick. Also at that conference, I will be presenting a session that allows teachers to familiarise themselves with the music that has already been written by Australian composers and take it back to their school bands. There is significant potential for change as we educate the next generation of young people. As a conductor, I have the forum and the responsibility to champion the music of Australian women, to educate others and to facilitate change. Change in curriculum, change in teacher and composer education, and change in the diversity of the role models that we place in front of our young people. It is time that we close the gender gap for Australian women composers.